The freedoms of the air were originally drawn up as part of the Chicago Convention back in 1944. These set out rules for air transport operators to follow, starting with the first freedom, the ability to fly through another country's airspace without landing. We won't go over all of the other freedoms for this video, but we will look at the fifth. The fifth freedom is one of the more interesting ones, and it allows airlines to fly from point A to point B with a stop at an intermediate point on the way. The beauty of this particular freedom is that when stopping at the intermediate point, the airline is allowed to take on and drop off passengers. Of course, the routes need to be negotiated with all relevant authorities beforehand. But what this means in practice is that there are a few routes out there where you can travel on an exotic airline, perhaps on a wide-body service, on a relatively short route, where you'd normally encounter a small narrow-body. In fact, Europe is a hotspot for some very cool Fifth Freedom flights, and so let's take a look at some of the best for today's video. Number 1 is a service from Larnaca LCA to Athens, or ATH. Pitching itself as the boutique airline of the Middle East, not many travelers get to fly Gulf Air. Its business class on the 787 is a very good product, although with a 222 layout, it falls short of offering the all-direct aisle access that has become the industry standard. But perhaps we're digressing a little too much, as you won't see the 787-9 on this Fifth Freedom route anyways. The airline operates from Bahrain to Athens with a stop in Larnaca, but it brings the A320 family on this route. Depending on the day, you might get the A320neo, or you could be in an older A320ceo or even an A321, neo or ceo. It does have business class, but it's a recliner and not a lie flat. Nevertheless, it's a good opportunity to fly on a rare airline and experience the soft product on board for yourself. According to Travel Daily News, the route operates 3 times per week, but times do vary between different days of departure, so be sure to check on a booking site for confirmation. At the time of making this video, the Fifth Freedom flight between Larnaca and Athens comes in at around $200 in economy and from $560 to $600 in business. Second on our list is a service from Stockholm Arlanda, or ARN, to Oslo Gardermoen Airport, OSL. Ethiopian Airlines has been flying a Fifth Freedom route between Stockholm and Oslo since 2016. At present, the service is daily and operated by the airline's Boeing 787-9 Dreamliner. Bear in mind that although transit between Sweden and Norway can usually be taken with just an ID card, it's not the case with this Fifth Freedom flight. As this flight originated in Addis Ababa, you'll actually need a full passport to board. By operating this Fifth Freedom connection, Ethiopian can service both Nordic capitals with one 787 flight. Based on the airline's decision to operate this stopping service, it would seem that not enough demand was present in both the Swedish and Norwegian markets to justify 2 non-stop services from the capital of Ethiopia. Contrary to many Fifth Freedom flights, the flight times are actually very good for day visitors or business travelers going to Oslo. Prices today come in at just over $100 for economy, up to around $600 for lie-flat business class, which, despite lacking direct aisle access in all seats, is a rather comfortable product according to Forbes. Third on our list is a flight from Geneva GVA to Manchester MAN. Our second entry from Africa's largest airline, Ethiopian, also secured the rights to a Fifth Freedom flight connecting Manchester with Geneva in August 2022. The route launched that winter and remains in operation today, connecting the Swiss aviation hub with the UK's second largest city. In June 2023, the carrier upgraded this service to 5 weekly frequencies, as was reported by Business Traveller. Like most Fifth Freedom flights, the scheduling of this European connection is rather unfriendly for travellers, but may be a worthy inconvenience for Europeans looking to experience a new carrier's offerings. Tickets for this short hop come at between $250 in economy and $600 in business class. Our fourth route is from Malta International Airport, or MLA, to Larnaca LCA in Cyprus. Usually, if you're stepping foot on an Emirates plane in Europe, you're going for a very long trip. Some might be stopping in Dubai for a vacation. Others will be travelling on to one of its destinations in Asia, Africa, or Oceania. But for a handful of lucky travellers, there's the opportunity to fly a much shorter segment and still experience that well-respected Emirates service. According to TTRW, the airline restarted its Malta to Dubai via Larnaca service in June 2021 and upgraded the service from 3 times a week to daily in summer 2022. The flight, which is operated by the Boeing 777-300ER, is one of the world's longest-running Fifth Freedom routes, having existed for some 24 years. And finally, our fifth Freedom service is from Barcelona's El Prat International Airport, or BCN, to Milan Malpensa Airport, MXP. Singapore Airlines is well known for its exemplary service and comfortable onboard product, but not everyone has the time or the need to fly all the way to Singapore. If you're in Europe, however, you could take the much shorter hop between Milan and Barcelona on one of the airline's flagship A350 wide-bodies. This A350 route, launched in January 2022, allows passengers to experience wide-body comfort on a 1 hour and 40-minute European flight if you time it right. Previously, the carrier operated this service 5 times per week, but has since lowered frequencies to just thrice weekly, according to Business Traveller News Europe. Compared with some of the European low-cost airlines, this is a slightly more expensive option, but well worth it for the experience. For example, an EasyJet or Ryanair flight between the two cities typically costs around $20 to $30. On Singapore, it'll be more like $80 to $90. Nevertheless, it's an investment worth making to try out this unique airline. Have you taken any of the Fifth Freedom flights listed here in this video? And also, let us know which one of these you'd most like to try first. We'd love to hear from you down in the comments section. Simple Flying publishes over 150 articles every week. If you're looking for the latest aviation news and insights, visit simpleflying.com.